So let's talk about how you can build an effective landing page. When you're designing your landing page, simplicity is best. You want to focus purely on the product or value that you're offering without a lot of distractions. I like this example for James Clear's book, Atomic Habits. This is a screenshot above the fold, and there's more beneath, but right off the bat, you can see a few essential elements. First is the hero spot. This is the headline of what the product is offering. After going to the picture of the book, your eyes will naturally be drawn to this headline. The headline is succinct and summarizes the benefits of the book. Next is the presentation. This is an actual picture of the book along with a digital sticker announcing that over 1 million copies have been sold. This can reinforce confirmation bias to someone already interested in the book or provide social proof to someone who's still on the fence. Next, there's content. This is the subheading and a short paragraph, only 2 sentences. The subheading spells out what the actual offer is, a free download of Chapter 1, and the paragraph lines succinctly describe the value the product offers, primarily by repeating the promises made in the hero spot. Finally is the call to action. You're invited to exchange your email address for a free chapter of the book. James makes this very, very simple, and that he only asks for an email address. It's important to know that the more information you require from your visitor, the more friction you're creating. Below the fold, James also includes some additional information about himself and the book, and includes an additional call to action. These 4 elements, the hero spot, presentation, content, and call to action, are all it takes to make a great landing page. I'd like to break off and talk about friction real quick. Friction is a massive concept when we're talking about marketing. Let me give you some examples. Netflix removed the friction of late fees and the time and effort of leaving the house, and thus beat out Blockbuster Video. Uber removed the friction of high fares and limited availability, and thus beat out traditional taxi services. Amazon removed the friction of limited availability and the time and effort of leaving the house, and is thus overtaking traditional general retail. There are other factors at play in these examples, sure, but do not estimate the power and influence that friction has on your business. Now, in the context of building a landing page that converts, a point of friction is any design element that resists the end goal. For landing pages, the end goal is for the user to take action. And so an example of a point of friction would be requesting too much information from your visitors. With each field you add to your form, you're creating another point of friction. If your offer does not justify that friction, then the visitor won't convert. Website design uses the same concepts as landing page design, but in a different way. As I said before, your website is primarily meant for people who already know you exist and want to learn more information. You'd be forgiven if you thought that meant that the end goal of your website is to provide that information. You do need to do that, of course, but that's not the end goal. The end goal is to induce your visitors to engage with you. If you're thinking that goal is similar to a landing page, you are correct, but we're going to achieve it in a different way. To put it plainly, you attempt to convert your website visitors in 2 steps. First, you provide the information that they're looking for in an attractive and engaging way, and you invite them to engage with you directly. You may notice that I'm using the words engage and take action quite frequently. A few years back, I actually owned a very small mobile game studio. One of the things that surprised me getting into that business was the role that music played. You see, each game has a certain feel to it. Some games feel fun, some feel scary, some feel exciting and get your blood pumping, some make you feel heroic, and some make you feel intelligent and clever. The music actually goes a long way in creating that feeling in the player. A game like Deus Ex Human Revolution, for example, requires a lot of prolonged and intense focus, and the theme song Icarus by composer Michael McCann does an amazing job at provoking that feeling. You can look it up on YouTube. Just try listening to that next time you're in the middle of a mundane task and take note of how much energy you seem to get. Now, the reason that I bring this up is because when we talk about website design, that's what we're really talking about, provoking feelings in our visitors. And believe it or not, those feelings are largely similar to what we provoke through video game soundtracks. Feelings of excitement, accomplishment or progress, fear of not having our product or service. But instead of provoking these feelings through sound and music, we are doing it through our visual presentation. On your website, you should have at least 4 pages. The home page, this is the main page that users see when they type in your domain, and in a way this is the landing page for your site. There's the About Us page, which is used to describe your brand from the perspective of serving your customers. That is, how are you uniquely positioned to solve their problems? Your products or services page should show off the value proposition of your business and how it directly benefits your customers. Your blog has 2 primary purposes. The first is to provide consistent, high-quality content, and the second is to improve your SEO. Then your contact page provides your contact information. To provide the information that your visitors are looking for, you can use several elements. Aside from the header, which should come first, these elements can generally be used in the order that is most attractive and, of course, engaging. Now, some of these elements are pretty self-explanatory, but we'll go through them. The header is usually a few words, often accompanied by an image, that shows the visitor what you have to offer. The brand introduction is how you introduce the visitor to your brand and invite them to engage with you. Features and benefits is where you describe the features of your product and how they can directly benefit your visitors. Authority. In this section, you describe why your brand is uniquely positioned and qualified to solve your visitor's problem. Building value can be done through testimonials, and if you have them, you should use them. Testimonials are most effective when you can include a picture of the customer. Video testimonials are even better than written testimonials when done correctly. Another way to build value is to provide case studies or before and after pictures or scenarios. Calls to action. We've talked about this a bit. Throughout your website, you should be inviting your visitors to take action. Some possible actions that you might include are signing up for a newsletter, learning more about a service, scheduling an appointment, or making a purchase. And optionally, you can provide pricing information as well. Most of these elements should be present on your home page, but they can and should be utilized on your other pages as well, mixed and matched into the layout that your visitors most respond to.